first preseason game in the books. This will be a post-game show after basically every Saints game. I'll try to get them to you quick, for the most part. But I'm just going to go over the game, some things I saw, some things we need to work on. Just the overall, quick, the post-game preview. But, look no further. We're going to start off with the quarterbacks. I think Taysom came out and looked excellent that first drive. Was throwing some accurate balls, looked calm in the pocket. Threw a dime to Callaway, who I'm going to touch on later. Overall looked good. It was ended by a fumble by Latavius Murray in the red zone. Kind of sucks because that was a opening drive that should have been 7 points because the offense was moving. After that, he was I won't say bad, but he wasn't good. He was average. The interception he threw that everyone saw already. It's a miscommunication with Ty Montgomery. Ty Montgomery stopped. Taysom, thought he was going to keep running, ended up throwing an interception. Then he almost threw another interception, which is another miscommunication with him and I believe that was Callaway. Callaway broke on his curl route and went outside instead of inside. Taysom threw it inside instead of outside, so another miscommunication there. So just things they have to clean up. And then Jameis came in, looked super shaky, tap dancing in the pocket. Looking like, oh man, what's going on with Jameis? And then about mid-second quarter, he starts to pick it up, and then Jameis just takes off that last drive. Last couple drives, he looks real good. Throwing dimes, end up throwing a touchdown to Jordan Humphrey in the end zone. But it's just somehow Jameis' luck. He throws a touchdown, and his very next play, he throws an interception. Not entirely his fault on the interception. He did underthrow Jordan Humphrey. Humphrey got his hands on it, so the rule, if you get your hands on it, got to catch it. Gets his hands on it. I think the Ravens defender pops it out of his hands. Interception for Jameis, which kind of ruined the momentum he had going because he was having a real good first half. That would have, if he didn't throw that interception, it would have been an easy decision on who had the better day. But after that interception, kind of made it a little murky. But that's all. They both played about 15 to 20 snaps, about 3-4 drives apiece maybe. So nothing too major. I don't think anyone separated themselves. I'm gonna be excited to see Jameis to get to go with the first group of guys for the next game, and Taysom go with the second guy. So we'll see what that brings us for next week. Next up, Callaway. Got to touch on Callaway. He was looking absolutely stunning that first half, that first drive on third down. Wearing the number 1 that looks icy already. Real impressed with Callaway. Hopefully I can get some film up, but man, he looked real good out there. Jawan Johnson also looked great. I don't think he's gonna challenge Trautman for the tight end 1 position, but I think tight end 2 he may have locked that up. At least in my eyes, he's pretty close to locking it up, man. He played basically throughout that entire game, which is good for him. He needs the reps at tight end. It's a new position. I know it's preseason, but when you need the reps, man. So he looked real good out there all night. So. Couldn't really, watch him in a blocking game, but as a receiving tight end, he fit the bill. He looks like a tight end now. You can tell he put on weight. I really like what I saw from him. Next guy I want to touch on, Tony Jones Jr. Came in probably 4th or 5th, maybe 5th on the depth chart behind Freeman, Murray, Kamara, Dwayne Washington. He was probably the best performer on offense in the entire game. Not probably, was the best performer on offense in the entire game. Had one fumble that kind of ruined his day. But, man, he looked real good. Had one great drive where he had over 60-plus yards on one drive alone. Man's like a one-cut back, hits the hole. He looked real good. So maybe we have some competition brewing. Latavius Murray isn't so cut and dry as number 2 as, we all may have thought before the season started, before training camp started and all that. So interested to see how that plays out. I know Murray's a veteran. He's gonna come back and play great the next game. So I'm not too worried about him. But young fellas on his tail, so that's also good, man. Competition is always great. And you're either gonna sink or you're gonna swim. So I love the competition right there. Now to the negative, which it wasn't crazy negatives, but the negative I do have is obviously bad. Turnovers. Interceptions, fumbles, penalties as well. All bad, but I'm just going to chalk this up to being the first, preseason game and things like that. but we got to have better ball security. It's really not an excuse that it's the first game. These guys have played football before. You have to, take care of the ball, man. You can't just turn the ball over every possession. It seems like we turned it over every possession, if not every other possession. Penalties, that's expected. First game, new quarterbacks, different. Everyone's different. You're playing with different lineups you've never played with before. Chemistry's not there, so I get the penalties part. That part's going to work itself out. But the turnovers, a little bit concerning. We'll see what happens next game. Also, offensive line depth. Oh, man, we're thin. We're thin at the backup position. I mean, a good offensive line is hard to find, understand, but those backups did not look the greatest at all, in my opinion. Even with Taysom out there, they didn't look great. With Jameis out there, they definitely didn't look great. With Book, they didn't look great. I mean, they just didn't look great, at all, honestly. So hopefully they look better next game, and we'll go from there. We'll see what they do, but maybe we need to look into signing some O-line depth, because it's the Saints, man. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Armstead's gonna get hurt this year. Knock on wood. Pray he doesn't, but it happens every year. He always misses 2, 4 games here or there. Pete's gonna get hurt. It's just what happens. Injuries happen. Guys are gonna go down, and the backup linemen did not, do any justice on their part. They didn't, bring any great things to the table, I would say. Now to the defensive side of the ball, my 2 MVPs come from this side of the ball, man. Marcus Davenport, wow. I'm gonna start off with him. That man looked amazing. I see all of the training camp hype that he's been looking good and stuff like that. It was true. It was true, man. That man played the entire first half and was absolutely beast that entire first half. I mean, from the first play of the game, he's getting pressure on McSorley. Got a completed pass, tackle made by Zach Bond, who was the second MVP on the team. He was everywhere. So, I mean, I think the signing of Quan is going to bring out the best in Zach Bond, because, I mean, going into all summer, you probably think you're going to be the starter next to DeMario. Then they draft a linebacker at your position, and they also bring Quan back. But he stepped up today. He showed out. He had a great game. I think he's in the leader. He's in the leader spot right now for that linebacker spot next to Quan. Not next to Quan, next to DeMario. So, I think Quan's going to have something to say about that. Pete Werner was hurt, so I think he's basically out of the competition, or maybe not. You never know. But for right now, I think Zach Bond has a firm grip on that position. Paulson Adebo, couldn't wait to see him. Was tested a lot. He was beat a couple times, but actually didn't give up completions because the ball was either overthrown or kind of got away with a penalty, but they didn't call it, which is hilarious, on the Saints. But he looked good. First game in over basically 2 years for him. I wasn't expecting him to come out there and be Marshawn Lattimore, Jalen Ramsey, anything like that. Just be Paulson Adebo, and he was pretty good for the first game. Can't wait to see him. The next game. I'm gonna watch the game back to see more in depth and things like that. But he looked good. Ken Crawley also, I didn't see him all game, and he played. He gave up 1 third down pass, but other than that, I didn't really see Ken Crawley. And for me, if I don't see Ken Crawley, it's been a great day. So thank you, Ken Crawley, for not showing up on the screen with pass interferences and giving up touchdowns and just things like that. Also on the defense, penalties, encroachments. We got a lot of encroachments and things like that. Have to clean that up. But that's just guys excited. Guys are ready to play. Haven't played in a while. Got fans in the stadium and things like that. So that's also expected. That's a good first game, man. I'll take it. A lot of things we're gonna work on and get better at. A lot of things we did, we were good at. So not all just bad things, good things in there as well. Quarterback competition is still rolling. I still don't know who's going to win it, but I'm excited to see them flip next week, like I said before. So, man, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. First preseason game is in the books. It's the Boo Tragedies, and I'm out.